And it is on Metropolis to the left side of the map, and he is building drones. It is the StarTale player.
StarTale SuHoSin.
To the top, we have his opponent. In the blue, the Terran player for the Prime team. It is
MarineKing.
one thing that could have put SuHoSin in a bit of a better position when he went for this one gas that he cancelled again. He had the chance to build something in his main base. If he would have actually built a drone, but he cancelled it before the unit was built. So something went wrong. He couldn't build a unit. And with this drone, he would have at least had a little bit of mining. And it turned out to be a mistake for him to not leave at least 1 or 2 drones behind to just get a little bit of income. Then he would have had a bit of a head start, could have droned up a lot easier, and actually went for more of a macro game with a head start in economy. As it is, MarineKing with a fantastic hold against the 6 pool, and he must feel invincible.
Yeah, I think I would feel that way as well. He is going to go Command Center first, again, on this map. And this is a smart choice given that it's a big map. He probably planned to do this from the beginning. MarineKing, it's almost as if he's trying to be the Flash of StarCraft 2 with this type of style. His reputation is growing to almost match Flash at this point. MarineKing cannot see the Overlord, but the Overlord
sees him. It's not as successful though.
No, definitely not.
He's like, he really wants this championship. He wants to go back to Codes, and he wants to make sure that he is a GSL champion. Right now, though,
or rather double hatch before pool.
Yeah, SuHoSin is like, okay, well, I know exactly what you're doing. You're starting with your CC again, but I'm not gonna 6 pool again. I know how that's gonna turn out. Yeah. I'm not really confident enough to 6 pool you, scout before exactly where you are, and then leave my drones behind, trying with a different style. No, I'm gonna for a double hatch.
I like this choice, and we'll see exactly how MarineKing responds. Already going into double barracks, which is pretty standard. One, you go for Command Center first as the follow-up. MarineKing he's a man of many strategies.
And he's scouting.
Yes, he is.
This time he's scouting. He's like, okay, well, maybe. But he's already walling off as well.
Yeah, a 6 pool would have hit by now if he was facing that. But, you know, he's got to make sure it's not a very fast baneling attack, for example, or a speedling run by. Speeds early all-ins can actually work. They don't get used very often in StarCraft 2, but occasionally, every now and then, someone will try that. And we just see the pool finishing here. Immediately starts 2 queens, will start a 3rd as soon as he has the minerals at his 3rd hatchery.
MarineKing right now adjusts with the double barracks marine production and no gas thus far, but he starts with the 3rd base. He knows exactly what's going on in his opponent's main.
Wow.
But the strategy for SuHoSin was, he sees the 3rd here right now. Now he spots it. With everything that he scouted in the main base, he already assumed, therefore placing down the command center. Now it was basically confirmed. He got confirmation about it, and yeah.
This is one of these games where it's like, well, you're being risky, so I'm going to out-risk you, and then MarineKing's like, well, I raise you a command center here, and gases without any additional barracks.
Now SuHoSin scouts, and he's like, okay, I will go for 4 hatches.
Yeah. Well, if he gets in there, he may. Yeah, with the 4 hatcheries, though, that may be too much. I don't know if...
I think it would be funny.
It would be interesting to see. I don't think it would... It just wouldn't really pay off as much as the 3rd one does.
MarineKing with some aggression here. He has the production, he's getting gas, so we won't see this really tough style where MarineKing rallies his units across the map. But he tries to take down... Well, maybe not down, but he tries to do some damage at the 3rd. That's what this small push-out with only 1 SCV and those Marines is trying to do. He spotted the units for just a second. Now he has confirmation as the Overlord is in vision, and immediately the Queen's walking down trying to protect the 3rd. He's spreading creep as well. MarineKing is on the move.
That's too many Queens, though.
Yes.
Even off creep, he's not going to fight that.
And the Marine's like, eek!
This is...
Maybe not. So gross. Ah. Ugh. 5 of them. Ugh.
Look at the way look at how mmany arms they have.
They're like, mama. Yeah, immediately retreat. So he knows that with this many queens, he can't do any damage with this.
Those queens cover the GSL logo. That's kind of, well.
If he has Stim, if he has a few more, then he can, of course, just bust through and take every single one of them down, but not with this small amount of Marines and no upgrades. Double Engineering Bay will make sure that he has upgrades very soon, though. He's going for a very bio-heavy style here with a lot of upgrades.
Now, we do see the double Evo chambers going down for SuHoSin. MarineKing he's building a healthy Marine count. His factory is a little bit later. He's like, well, I still am Korean, and despite my opening, I will reactor out some Hellions here in this matchup. Doesn't matter when they're coming out, how late my factory is. I will put them out there, and I will try to put some pressure on, even after spotting the Queens. He's going to do that. And this is going to allow him a little bit of map control as well, though. He's not going to really be able to kill anything or really slow down the creep, but he can do a little bit of pressure with this.
SuHoSin is now already at 60 Harvesters against 47, but he's up against 3 Mules, with 3 Command Centers, with 3 Orbitals. Really serve MarineKing well on the Terran player, also with the double upgrades. Both of them actually are going for these fast 1-1 upgrades, as SuHoSin has the double evolution chamber. We see it at the front now. Helps him a little bit with his wall in as well. Yeah. And the Baneling Nest is on its way. Lair Tech, both of them just agreeing here to take it a bit easy for the first few minutes in the game with this really macro-ended openings and to gear up for the fight.
Oh, look at this. Always a gamble to attack Hellions off creep with Speedlings, but he may catch them. The problem is the Marines have joined. And in the end, if he had gotten the third Hellion there, it might have been worth it, but no.
Yeah, not quite. He can take down the Hellions, which will help him in order to defend against a potential push. But killing only 2 and losing a fair amount of Zerglings is, if you think about it, not really that great.
And now he has to make a ton of Lings because he knows his attack is coming, and losing those Lings make it a little bit harder to push, just like you said. And if he moves around the right side here and clears up some of these tumors and then retreats, this is something that's really going to annoy SuHoSin. But the army for MarineKing I don't think is big enough. Not against this style, not against this many Lings coming out.
Suo for Muta, Baneling, Zergling style.
Yep. This is becoming more popular again.
Yeah, it's coming back.
Oh wow, see this is, you overextend a little bit like this and you get punished.
Those Zerglings were definitely in the right spot at the right time. They had a good time here. The Marines, no chance. Nice position where MarineKing retreated to. Did the best out of the bad situation that he was in. But now he has to defend, and this is not going to be easy without any bunker at all. Suo is walking in here, and he realizes, well, there are maybe too many Marines. But he can trade fairly even here. Not with the micro of MarineKing, though.
Yeah, MarineKing showing some great micro, and once those medevacs appeared, he couldn't butt. With these Banelings that have joined in, he definitely has a lot more power here. Those bunkers are not done.
And they won't be. He's going in with the Zerglings, and here come the Banelings. MarineKing has to use his MarineKing micro, and he's splitting them. The Banelings do a fair amount of damage, though, but MarineKing has a great production.
And Suho is sitting in another group of these Lings, and they're being gunned down right away with the bunkers there, and even a few siege tank shots.
Siege mode is done, and therefore now he can finally attack those units from the high ground as well. Definitely a position where Suho will say, okay, well, I get it, message received, you have your defense ready, okay, I'll fall back.
Oh, back off, man, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
Yeah, we might see him actually taking, he's waiting for the Mules first, but I guess that he takes another base. There he is. That's the 4th. That's exactly what he needs to do. He sees his opponents on 3, he needs to take a 4th. At the same time, the Mutalists are building, and MarineKing has the missile turrets on the way.
10 Mutas coming out here, and it's going to be a small commitment to the Mutas. He may decide to go for more as he's getting +1 flyer weapons. The thing about flyer attacks is that if you have it, you can pick off tanks faster and you can fight Marines more straight up. But it's good for the late game as well, because when you eventually do need those Broodlords, it's an investment you've already made. And so I like it.
It's great to shut those dropships down. This is one of the things that he can definitely achieve. He has to do, though, what he has to do is send his overlords to the right side. I'm not quite sure if this one overlord that he has was able to see it. And the Mutalists are now in the main base, but this drop is going to hit the 4th pretty hard. I think he can take it down if he stims in and does his DPS. The main base of MarineKing, of course, assailed by the Mutalists, but the defense are ready. And here come the Marines at the bottom of the map.
The 3rd base, or 4th base that's morphing is under attack, and he will force a cancel, and he can just lift up and get out of here. He's actually going to wait for the Banelings, though, and trade as well as possible. So nicely done, losing maybe 3 or 4 Marines there.
MarineKing is no fool. He immediately builds 3 additional command centers, 1 to the right side of the map, and of course he wants those extra orbitals, the extra mules.
He may be no fool, but it was kind of foolish to let these medevacs die.
Well, they couldn't really get out of here.
Yeah.
That's the big problem.
That's exactly right.
Once SuHoSin committed to the defense and was on the way back with his Mutalisk, it was basically a given that those medivacs would be attacked. He kind of hoped for just unloading the Marines. Maybe the Mutalisk arrive first, then you can target down a Mutalisk or 2 or 3 and make this trade a little bit better. But as it is, SuHoSin led with the Zerglings, tanked the fire, and then took down medivacs and Marines with Mutalisks.
It would have been kind of you're right. It would have been kind of a gamble to try to run away with the Mutas on the map. I respect his choice there. Unfortunately, the wrong one in this case. But here we go. Chases out the Mutas. I thought he was going to try to stick around for more with that many. Oh, hold that thought. There are tanks here to fight the Banelings, but nothing else, and there's a few SCVs here, but they're all going to go down.
Yeah, not a lot, though. He doesn't really have a lot of SCVs, and those Banelings are a little bit helpless there in the middle, and they're like, Daddy, we want to attack something, but there's nothing there.
Oh! A huge mistake! I can't believe he didn't see that.
I don't think he paid attention. He would just probably A-move the Marines to the bottom in order to defend while he was busy defending against the Mutalisks. Never ever would he have done this if he would have seen the Banelings burrowing. He missed it, definitely.
Cool little tactic by Suho. He was going to lose the Banelings no matter what, so he would have maybe forced a scan. So I like that, because if he forces the scan, that's some minerals lost. If he doesn't scan and if he loses Marines, then he loses the Marines. Or if he just avoids it, then like, well, you don't lose anything.
Even if he scans, you buy a bit of time for the rest of your Banelings to get into the mineral line. So you have to make this choice. Now the Mutalisks are getting really aggressive here. Once again, trying to go to the low ground. There's only one unit, but the Thor is just a bit too much.
Yeah.
And more missile turrets for MarineKing. Now he's fed up with this.
His MarineKing's macro year, his bases, they are out of control. He's getting another sensor tower.
And we have Planetary Fortress now up as a defense. This is something that we've seen when Metropolis first came into the map pool. The Terran players put up those Planetary Fortresses in those gaps and try to take 5 bases, which is enough. They will completely wall with missile turrets and just be sitting tight, getting upgrades, getting this huge army before they move out.
And they can build SCVs. They have they count as supply. It's not a bad idea to have these at all. Something else to consider here is that MarineKing may do that air switch that we see so popular on this map, and he's sending medevacs to this island. I think he may take it. And he's just going to fly over it for one, but I thought maybe he was going to scan and take it out. Gotta be careful of these Mutas, though!
Oh, he retreats to the island, but MarineKing knows now that there are a few units that are trapped.
And he does take out the tumor. That may become important later.
Line knows that the units are trapped, not MarineKing. MarineKing knows it as well. That's why he only retreats with one medivac and lets the other one just wait over there.
Yep, and look at this. This is actually so interesting. They're both just like, well, all right, too smart for each other. And there's the transition. 5 starports. 6 starports.
Wow.
Yeah, we are going to see that air style here from MarineKing. This happens all the time on this map specifically, because like you said, it's so easy to wall off and take all 5 of those command centers.
With the high ground that you have, you can definitely do it. So let's see how SuHoSin is going to deal with this situation. Both of them are nearly maxed out. Once again, a few Marines being used to take down Creep Doomers. SuHoSin is trying to move in and take them out, but he is pretty reluctant to actually get into the siege tank range, because then he has to fully commit to the attack or risk losing everything. Yeah. The upgrades on the production tab. They are going for fully upgraded ground units here.
Yeah. Fusion Core coming out for MarineKing. As he's adding those 4 tech labs, we all know where those are going. He's going to be making Ravens. He's going to be making battle cruisers. Even making 2 reactors on the additional other starports so he can get those Vikings out. And oh man, this is going to be an exciting conclusion to this game. I can guarantee you that.
Armor upgrades are going to be very, very important for SuHoSin, and he gets the first air armor upgrade, whereas MarineKing is now once again forcing the creep back. The Mutalisks actually catch orbital to the bottom right, don't they? Yes, they do, and I think those Marines are going to be killed. Ah, he didn't see them, but he can't just focus them down.
Yeah, but he lost a lot of Mutas now, and actually he's going to lose even more.
He doesn't target fire. The upgrades are not good, but he could have target fired them, but he did not.
Yeah, 3-3 on those Marines made it really tough for him to break through there. But yeah, you're right. He should have won that. Weapon refit, building armor, high-sec auto-tracking, Corvid reactor, durable materials, high-sec auto-tracking, seeker missile. I already mentioned high-sec auto-tracking.
How much for the world?
Yeah, man. It's, look at his bank still. 1,600 minerals, 400 gas, 4 Ravens. And a planetary at the island.
Yeah, the bigger question right now is, of course, what exactly is SuHoSin going to do? Will he scout this? Will he be prepared? If he knows what's coming, then yeah, he can definitely do something about it.
Nidus.
He's going even for Nidus network now, and this can do damage. I love that he is using a few of those Brood Lords to take down the island expansion. This is really important. But what he needs later on is just the production and also the bank to immediately produce a lot of Corruptors.
Yeah, and the Corruptors are important, but Infestors oftentimes become important, and there's no way for MarineKing to hold this planetary, unfortunately, for him.
Not the planetary to the bottom right, but the 5 bases that he is on give him enough resources to pull the strategy switch off this unit composition. And SuHoSin, he needs the upgrades for the air units, as mentioned before. The first one is nearly done. Now he goes for the second Spire. He needs double upgrades, and I hope for his sake that he starts to double the second armor. He does not.
No, not yet.
This is so important against the Seeker missiles, of course, and also against the battle cruisers, everything that he's building. The upgrades on the air units will decide quite a lot here. The expansion has been taken out, as mentioned. To the top left, though, we have another base for MarineKing. You can see it on the minimap. And 3 battle cruisers building.
He needs Vikings to stop the Broodlords from attacking his island bases. He doesn't have any room in his supply to make those right now, but he does have 6 Ravens. He can try to use those against the Broodlords, but that's not really an ideal composition. A few medevacs being taken out in the middle of the map by Infestors, and you know, there's so much going on here, it's hard for everything to be captured on screen. A few SCVs being sacked so you can actually use more mules, get the supply free up. 4 battle cruisers coming out, 1-1. And like you said, that air carapace is going to be so important. He's going to start as soon as that Spire finishes.
And he's currently ahead in air upgrades. MarineKing is about to finish 1-1, but this is exactly the status that SuHoSin is already on, so the double upgrades will be faster for him. And here we start slowly but steadily getting into this air battle. And I think SuHoSin will realize very soon that his opponent has a lot more air units than he actually expected him to have.
Oh, this is such a funny battle that we're watching. The battle for the island. I love these types of situations only occurring on Lost Temple in the past, but now this map having island expansions that are starting to be used here, and he is going to break through. Yes. There's not enough Vikings.
MarineKing cannot win this battle without showing his hand, and that's the one thing that he's really reluctant to do. He does not want to send those battle cruisers over and the rest of his Vikings. He wants to stay put for now.
Yeah, he doesn't care about this base that much. I mean, he's got so many other bases mining. This is going to become important later, but for now he doesn't have to show his hand. You're exactly right. He's already got 4 BCs and 6 Ravens, 4 more about to pop, 5 Vikings, and +2 ship weapons on the way for MarineKing, but no Carapace just yet for Suho.
He's trying to Nidus now. He's trying to take a base. Yes, at the bottom right we have the Nidus network. So MarineKing is trying to overwhelm his opponent, and SuHoSin doesn't have the supply freed up. If you look at his bank, he is definitely able to do it, and his lava count is at 83. So this is a great position for him to be in regarding what he can do, but does he do it in time? That's the bigger question. MarineKing, of course, sacking SCVs now. Yeah. This is what he wants to do. He can rely on his orbitals, and therefore he has a better army supply, or will have it very soon. He's at 132 against 100, and now we have +3 attacks started and +2 armor.
This is like watching the final mission of campaign on Brutal or something.
Oh, could you please double check if he got the Neural Parasite upgrade?
Yeah, I can check that for you. I don't think he did, but I will.
I don't think so either. I didn't see it, but this would be really important for him to have. And there's the Infestation Pit. He does not have the upgrade. Neural Parasite not researched. All those Infestors are going to be great for the Fungals, but he cannot Neural the Battle Cruisers.
Yeah, he won't be able to do that. And there are 8 of them out here.
Oh, now he knows. Now he has at least seen those Vikings.
Here we go. Seeker missiles will be engaged. 4 of them.
Fly away, sack the Brood Lords, rebuild immediately. Not Ultralists, that's a bit of an odd choice here if you want to win the air.
Oh, he's got to be careful with those Infestors. Oh, those 2 Brood Lords.
Oh, no! Why don't you just fly a little bit further and then they will not detonate? I love the Transfuse, that's great, but why?
Well,
he can save the energy, use it later. And why does he build Ultralists against this air unit? Of course he needs to take down the ground army as well, but this is just too much. He does not have the Corruptor count. Not by a long shot.
He needs Neural Parasite really badly. I really feel that without Neural Parasite, this is going to be an impossibility.
He needs to have perfect Fungals if he wants to make this work with the units that he has.
Here we go. The Broodlords morphing to die. And it's time for the creep to get cleaned up. MarineKing wants that GSL logo to shine.
Well, if he gets the perfect Fungals, then maybe.
Well, he does not even go for Bungles, goes for Infested Terrans instead.
But MarineKing doesn't move back, he actually fights this, and here comes the battle immediately. Of course we have those point defense drones, and he's trying to take all of this down. The Queens in the meantime just transfuse. That's all they know, and there is just nothing that SuHoSin seems to be able to do against this competition.
You're right. You know, he made those Ultras, yeah, they cleaned up the ground army, but now they're just kind of worthless. Is he going to try to break through the planetaries?
32 Corruptors on their way. 32 and +2 armor is gonna be ready. GG.
He had the Ultras running across the map, but he knew he wouldn't be able to break through all those planetaries that MarineKing set up.
I don't know. I would have at least seen. I would have loved to see him try. 32 Corruptors is a lot.
I would have liked to see him try 32 Corruptors instead of making the Ultralisk.
But the thing is, why not wait for the... I mean, if you kill everything, of course you are already down and it's really, really hard to do, to pull this off. But still, I mean, you have a small chance.
Yeah.
Well, it's over. MarineKing takes it 2-0, as most people would have expected beforehand, but it was an interesting series. The switch to air was really something. And Suho a little bit too late to realize what was going on. He had a very high drone count at this point. He had 80 harvesters, whereas MarineKing was sacking SCVs constantly as he relied more on mules and had the higher army supply.
Yeah. It was just basically, it was kind of a textbook tech switch problem, you know? He just made the battle cruisers, he hid them well. Like you said, he let the Corruptors and the Broodlords take out his planetaries on his islands. Just let him do that. Attacked him with the composition he wasn't ready for. We're going to have a 5-minute break, so don't go anywhere. We've got a lot more StarCraft 2 action coming up.
무슈제의 GSL 부산 결승 트로피의 주인공을 만나러 갑니다. 부산에서 만나요. 남자의 시작 무슈제이한 GSL. 남자의 시작 무슈제이한 GSL.
In the service of ire.